Okay, let's start round two. So the game has ended. Both my friend and I finished our turns. And so now we're into the second round. So some things to note here. I didn't talk about these messages because the early messages in the first round are mostly tutorial messages that you can click on. But now any messages you see here are updates from the previous round, kind of telling you what happened. So if I click on one, this is telling me from for technology, I didn't get advanced shipyards, but I did get simple fleet tactics. So that's good. All these roles are global to all players, but of course different players are going to do different research strategies, so we're not always going to have the same research. It just depends on what we decide to try to do. And you can try researching in different ways. Try doing a lot of lower chance and go for a lot of different technologies, or put a lot of research into certain things. It just really depends on what you're trying to do. I did a bunch of buying and selling of industry on that first round. I scrapped a couple of ships, I bought some ships, and I bought some armies, so that sounds right. And this is your economic and trade results. So this kind of tells you how much money you made, how much resources, the three colors of resources: alloys, energy, and arrays. Or you can just say blue, yellow, and red. And then the amount of money you make is dependent on the global price of those resources and how much of those resources you made. So this is the credits I've made, which is only 30,000, and I had 128,000 before. After round 10, you'll have to pay upkeep for your armies and your fleets, but I give you a break on that to kind of get all the empires going. So I have 158,000 credits, and then we have how much technology and other things that I'm producing. I have no fleet capacity until I build more shipyards. That means I can't build any more ships right now. I can only have the 8 that I have. To win the game, it's map dependent, but I need to win by controlling 810 cities worth of planets. And if I had an ally, we can share that number, so we can kind of win together in an easier way. Okay, so what am I going to do now? So just reminding myself, I didn't get advanced shipyards. Let's go to technology first. If I click on, if I just press spacebar, or I believe A on the Steam Deck, you can just kind of jump to any technologies. What it does here is it just jumps to anything you've researched, so it'll be kind of flashing here to kind of remind you, hey, you just researched this. So that way, let's say I researched this one, you know you might want to go for the next one. And if I press spacebar again, it'll jump over to the technology that I didn't research. You can see that it already added 5 points in. The reason it does that is I've made it easier for everyone. You're going to want to keep researching things. If I took the 5 away, I have a 0% chance, even though I put 30 in. So you're going to want to put at least 1 in, so I just put 5 in as a kind of a default. So it means I have a 29% chance to get advanced shipyards. Still not great. I took away some of those opportunities because I wanted to get fleet tactics, like I mentioned last video. So I'm going to pop this up a bunch, maybe 75%. And I want to get those shipyards. Then I'm probably going to try to get those. It'd be really nice to get these factories, but it is a bit of a wait. I do want to get some economy going in the meantime. So I think I'm going to go for advanced alloy factories. Good chance to get some of those going. That'll give me a little bit better factories. I might even jump and get these too. But I can always use the market. As long as I get one of these, I can use the market to buy the other ones. And I'll explain that shortly. Okay, so my technology is done. That's good. Let's go back to the map. Now I have 3 of these army regiments, which is not really enough to take on a 10 planet. You probably should have at least 6, I would suggest, but you'll learn that over time playing the game. And of course it depends a lot on the map design too. I have 8 ships though. 8 ships should be enough to take on one of these planets. And you'll see that the number is flashing. This is because I have fleet tactics now. And fleet tactics is a really important part of the game. Makes it a lot more interesting for strategy. So the first part of strategy is designing your ships. And from the previous video, hope you remember that I designed like a heavy corvette with some torpedoes, an anti-missile gun, shoots to the right or to the starboard side. And I tested it in the simulator. It seemed to work okay. Now I want them to be all, I don't want to be all spread out. If you don't have fleet tactics, your ships are kind of randomly kind of just warp in, and they're in a kind of a random line. So what you want to do is you want to make them into little groups. And so to do that, you click on your ship. Well, first of all, you decide when you want to move, you click on your ship or your army, and it'll highlight where you can go. And this will jump. You can actually jump like more than adjacent if you have warp gates. But we don't have warp gates yet, so we won't worry about that. So I got to think, well, where do I want to go to spread out? I could go here, and then here, and kind of go around in a circle. That's not a bad idea. I go up here, establish a border here. I think I'm going to try to go this direction towards Antares, and then work my way across. That'll give me time to make a little bit more troops. So I'm just going to go to, well, maybe I should, no, that wouldn't make sense. I think I should go here. So now this is how you move your ships. You just click on them, and you can see below that you have all your different captains. Oh, and one thing I almost forgot is we have our pet. So pets right now are in two categories, planet focused and ship focused. This is a ship focused pet because you can see it has ship booster percentages. So from level 1, Patrick, my pet, if I assign him to a ship, that ship will have 20% better stats across the board, like generating power, moving, its armor and shields if it has any, tracking, all that kind of stuff. So you can imagine if you can get Patrick up to level 5, that's a big boost. You could make some pretty powerful ship designs leveraging a really powerful pet. Similarly, there's also a captain of a ship. In this case, it's rookie Bernard Patrick. So Bernard Patrick there's Ruby Patrick, Michael Patrick, Aubrey Patrick, etc., etc. All of these guys have no experience right now. If I had built a fleet academy, then I built ships with it, I could start with some captains that have 1,000 experience. So they would be going up in level faster. But anyways, between your captain, which represents your ship crew, and your pet, you will have bonuses for your ships. Similarly, for your armies, you can also move them. And they also come with a simple kind of, they're green right now, but if you had an army academy, then they could start with more experience. It'd be cadets, I think. And they similarly can go up in experience and be more powerful when they're attacking. So with that out of the way, let's put Patrick. He does no use sitting on this planet. If you have a planet-focused pet and you leave him on the planet, then all this stuff will go up by the percentage of that pet. But all your pets need to go into ships in order to get experience. They have to go into battles and not die. If the ship dies that the pet's in, the pet dies. But if the pet survives and gets experience from taking damage, attacking things, and destroying other ships, they will slowly go up in experience and become more powerful for you. So I want to give Patrick some experience, although I could lose Patrick, but I'll take that chance. And I'm just going to put Patrick in this one, 19, ship ID 19 Hammy version, Mark 1. So Patrick's there now. And you can always swap Patrick between different ships if you want, or back to the planet. And that's kind of how you deal with your pets. And now let's send them on their way. So let's take our ships, send them over here, warp them all. Once I warp one ship, you'll see now this one ship is going here. If I wanted to click on that ship, you can see where it's going. If you click on it again, it'll cancel, go back to here. And right click to clear. Click on here again, or you go. You can also clear by hitting this little X. So let's send send them all over there. And you'll see there's a Fleet Tactics and a Sort Captains button. If you click the Sort Captains button, it won't do anything really right now because none of the captains have any experience and all your ships are the same. But later on, you're going to get more powerful ships and your captains that survive are going to be more experienced. This is the simple way for now for me to allow you to quickly put your best captains into your biggest ships. So what it'll do is it'll take the best captains you have and move that whole crew, kind of promote them into the biggest ship that you've built in this little fleet. So that's something to keep in mind. That doesn't matter for us right now. I'm going to click on Fleet Tactics. Now this is actually not needed right now because I'm just going to a friendly planet, but I'm going to show you anyways how it works. And it will kind of save your fleet tactics if you don't change much else, but it's always good to kind of look for this flashing number to see if sometimes the fleet tactics will reset depending on what you're doing. So you can choose, basic fleet tactics only has a small number of kind of squares you can put your ships in. This will grow as you get more advanced fleet tactics, and it'll allow you for more complicated fleet patterns, and you get to make the patterns however you want. So when you can choose your little fleets, you can make a fleet in the left side of the map, the center side, or the right side. If you are attacking, you're going to be at the bottom going up. If you're defending, you're going to be at the top going down. So keep that in mind with the way you align your ships. If you want certain ships protecting other ships in a certain direction. Normally, actually always when you're attacking these gray planets, you're going to be attacking. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to put my fleet. I know they're going to go forward at an enemy and then they're going to turn to the left and shoot. So I want them to have some room to do that. So I'm going to put them on the right side. I'm going to click on Patrick. Actually, no, Patrick is going to move a little faster than everybody else. So here's another tip. All the ships that are in a fleet, they're all going to follow the captain of that little fleet, that you're going to set up right away here. And they will go as fast as they can to keep up. But if the captain is faster than them, the captain's going to go ahead of them. So so maybe unintuitively, you do not want to put your fastest ship as the captain, because the other ships can't go faster than they physically can go, but they can slow down. So Patrick will slow down and keep up with some other captains. So the general rule of thumb is put in the slower ship as the captain. So we'll put the slower ship, put him in the middle, and then you just kind of put the other ships all around like that. We'll put Patrick in the back and put one ship there. Okay, so this fleet is ready to go. You can just close that. And this army, I can put it here for now. Armies are pretty simple right now. I'm going to improve that in the future. I also I can't build any more ships. See, I can try, but you see how it's flashing down there because I don't have any more capacity until I build more shipyards. But I can build more armies. I can build, if you look over here, it says 300 army installation capacity. Each army takes 100, and the rest of it's used for repair. But these are not being repaired right now. So I will build 3 more of those. These are not great against, there's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors. There's artillery, mechanized, and infantry. Artillery is the best against infantry and the fortress protectors, which are kind of like something you get if you build a fortress, which is what these neutral planets will have. The mechanized are good against the artillery, and the infantry is good against the mechanized. So kind of a rock, paper, scissors. So you kind of have not the best setup with this, but you don't have a choice because that's kind of what you're starting with. You're going to have to research more types of armies to get a better chance of successfully invading one of these planets. Okay, so I'm building some more. You can see a little icon there telling me I'm building some more tanks, and I'm sending these guys over. I'm not going to bother with my production because I didn't get the research centers yet or any new buildings of any sort. If I did, these words, the names of the planets would be flashing. They'd be kind of wiggling, and they're not doing that. So it's kind of an easy way for me to tell that there's not much else I can do there. I don't need to mess with the market in this turn because I still have enough resources available, but I'm going to need them in the next turn probably once I start to research some new industry, but that hasn't happened yet. I could design another ship, but there's no point because I don't really have any more space. Actually, one thing I could do to be a little more efficient, I'll click on my home planet, and I could sell these 2 design centers and these 2 simulation centers and buy a couple more research centers for now, just to give myself a little more research. I can always buy these back later, but it means that next turn I cannot design any ships or simulate any ships, but I don't really need to, so I'm just being as efficient as I can with the cities that I have. And that's it. Time to end the turn. Let's see if I'm the last one to end the turn. And I'm not. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to stop it here, and we'll wait for the next turn to continue my playthrough.